Good day everyone! My name is Cristina Lampos Vidar.
And I'm John Francis Bucago.
And the topic that we will discuss later is all about the contribution of Arabs, Chinese, and Hindu in the development of science and technology.
Objectives: describe the development of science and technology that occurred in Arabs, Chinese, and Hindu. Explicate and recognize the significance of the contribution of Arabs, Chinese, and Hindu in the development of science and technology.
Arabic civilization location originated in the Arabian Peninsula, Saudi Arabia in 622 AD. Arabic is the written and spoken language of the Arabs. At present, there are 22 Arabic-speaking countries: Algeria, Bahrain, Comoro Islands, Djibouti, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Syria, Tunisia, UAE, and Yemen. Their religion island means submission to the will of God. God Allah conveyed to Muhammad a talisman and Syrians of revelation, which were to form the basis of new faith. Science and technology: trigonometry, sine, tangent, cotangent, ibn Mosa, work, hisab al-jabwal, mukabla, the calculation of integration and equation. Astronomy, astrolabe, architecture, Mosque of Damascus, water wheel, water irrigation, algebra and geometry. Muhammad bin Mosa al-Kawasarizmi, one of the founders of algebra, physics and chemistry. Kamaluddin examined the refraction of sunlight in raindrops. Science of mechanics. In Islam, it is an act of genius.
Science and technology. Camera obscura. In the field of optics, it was invented by Ibn Haytham in 1038 Common Era. Theory of relativity. Qadhi Abu Bakr in 18th century terms of time and space by means of mathematical equation as astrophysics. Paper making. Earliest skill attained by the Muslim. High quality of paper was being manufactured in Samarkand. Egypt was known to have its first paper mill in the year 900 Common Era. Advances in industry. Muslims were leading in weaving wool, producing silk, pottery, jewelry, and leather and perfume industry. Chinese civilization. Location. Ancient China was built along the two main rivers, first the Yellow River, Huanghe, in the north, and later the Yangtze in the south. China is one of the oldest civilizations in the world's most populous country, Asia, with a population of over 1.35 billion.
Science and technology. Various forms of sciences such as astronomy, physics, chemistry, meteorology, seismology have originated from China. Paper and Chinese calligraphy began writing about 1500 BC. The earliest writing that we know of the China was on animal bones, which are called oracle bones because they were used to tell the future. Place value number system. Decimal or base 10 system. The first recorded observations of comets, solar eclipses were done in China. Invented kites and lanterns. Clock. Magnetic compass. Wooden circle with markings on it. Magnetic spoon on top, used for religious purposes. Gunpowder. It was made by mixing sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate. Fireworks. Bamboo cases filled with gunpowder with a fuse on the side. Kites. Bamboo and silk. Seismological detectors. Sanghi invented the earthquake detecting tool called seismoscope. Cross bowl, a bowl set horizontally on a stack. Fans, bamboo spines that stick out in the shape of a semicircle with silk wrapped around it. Paper and printing, their early script contained 80,000 different characters. Seed drill were used by farmers to plant seeds into the soil at uniform depth. Iron plough, major developments in ancient Chinese agriculture. Porcelain, made in special white clay which has a lot of kaolin in it. Silk, made from cocoons of silkworms. Wheelbarrows, basically hand-driven vehicles with two handles on the rear side. It is used for construction industry. Other inventions like umbrella, iron casting, hot air balloon, matches, stirrups for riding horses, and acupuncture.
Indus-Hindu civilization, location early civilization in India, emerged in river valleys. The valleys of the Indus River supported a flourishing civilization that extended hundreds of miles from the Himalayas to the coast of the Arabian Sea.
Science and technology. Two of the major cities were Harappa and Mohenjo-daro at its height. Harappa had 35,000 inhabitants and Mohenjo-daro had perhaps 35,000 to 40,000 inhabitants. Both cities were planned carefully. Most buildings were constructed of mud bricks baked in oven and were square shaped, forming a grid pattern. Evidence showed that Indus Valley civilizations have public wells provided with regularly supply of water for all the inhabitants and sanitations. All houses had their own private toilet, which was connected to a covered sewer network constructed on a brickwork held together with a gypsum-based mortar that emptied into.
Aryabhata presented astronomical and mathematical system that took the Earth to spin on its axis and considered the motion of planets with respect to the Sun heliocentric or elliptical. He also made an accurate approximation of the Earth's circumference and diameter, and also discovered how the lunar eclipse and solar eclipse happened for the first time. He also propounded the heliocentric theory of gravitation, thus pretending Copernicus by almost 1,000 years.
Brahmagupta was the head of the astronomical observatory at Ujjain. Estimated in the 7th century that the circumference of the earth was 5,000 yohanas, or the estimate of 36,000 kilometers, which comes quite close to the actual circumference known today. He had said about gravity that bodies towards the earth, as is it in the nature of the earth to attract bodies, just it is in the nature of water to flow. He also made the calculations of eclipses of the sun and the moon. Rakesh Sharma, the first Indian to go to the outer space. The Hindus use a system of 27 or 28 nakshatras, lunar constellations, to calculate a month. Each month can be divided into 3 lunar days. There are usually 360 or 366 days in a year. The Jantar Mantar in Jaipur in Atwali is one of the 6 major observatories.